Hello there, Nate here with the Volunteer Tech Vlog on the Live Sound 101 YouTube channel. And two things I learned about myself over the last 24 hours. I don't really like 3D movies, and I kind of confirmed that. I kind of knew I didn't like 3D movies. I confirmed that last night after seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Darkness. The 9:45 showtime is just too late for a man of my age. Holy cow, when you gotta get up early the next morning and you get home from the movies around like 12:30, like 1 o'clock. Oh man, it's just miserable. So I'm pretty tired right now. But luckily there's no early service today, so I just have to be there for rehearsal at 8. So I'm still gonna be a half hour early, so that's a good thing. And the other random thing is I gotta show up. My daughter sent me this. She said, "Daddy, can you take this with you and show all your friends?" And this is a caterpillar that my 4-year-old made in preschool. So that's our interesting thing for this video. But I want to talk about, in terms of technology, last video you saw me driving around with my buddies. I used to play in a band with Chris and Joe. We just kind of, I scratched the car in that bush. I hate that bush. We just talked about being in a band, playing in a band, and just kind of random stuff like that. That was fun to incorporate those guys into the vlog and hear a little bit from them. Really good friends from my childhood, so we don't get together all that often, and when we do, it's kind of a special occasion. Even I'm not going to get into. I didn't really want to go see Ninja Turtles, but I wanted to hang out with Chris and Joe, so I went along for it, and it was fun. We played pool and stuff like that. But anyway, this video, to tie it all back into technology, last night I saw obviously the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Darkness movie in 3D with the polarized 3D glasses. So it was the RealD 3D, right? There's different kinds of 3D technology, different ways to trick your brain into thinking that you're not looking at a flat screen, but that's essentially what 3D technology does. It tricks your brain into thinking that there is some sort of perspective happening, that there are objects coming closer to you and moving farther away and different stuff. And so I am not a fan of this 3D technology. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just that I'm not used to wearing glasses or whatever, but for me, I found the biggest thing about this technology was that it was too much visual stimulation happening. And I don't know, I haven't seen a lot of movies in 3D because I don't really care for it all that much. I've seen a handful of them. I think I saw Avatar in 3D. I can't even remember. Years and years ago, I'd probably seen other 3D movies, but for me, it's too much visual stimulation, especially with the fast sequences that are cutting from jump cut to jump cut to jump cut to jump cut, and the Technodrome flying around and battle scenes and people jumping off buildings and going, and it's I don't know what it is, but like honestly, the most effective 3D parts, aside from one or two scenes that 3D was like enhanced the experience, really the best part about 3D was the opening credits and the closing credits. Like, that was the most effective use of 3D during the whole Ninja Turtles 2 Out of the Darkness movie, in my opinion. Like the closing sequence with like the bright colors and like the comic book stills and stuff like that was really cool, because it was just visually stunning, but your brain had enough time to process these images that weren't bouncing around everywhere. It was just kind of stills with a little bit of movement, and I thought that was super effective for 3D. Now maybe it's just the way I perceive it, maybe it's the way my eyes and my brain perceive what's happening, but for me, I felt like when I'm watching these Ninja Turtles bounce around and all, go do all these crazy, explosions and action sequences, I honestly felt like the scenes, the clips were not on the screen long enough for my eye to scan the entire thing and take it all in. Like I felt like I didn't see the whole movie because I only was able to focus in on a certain part. And part of that is the director's taste in the cinematography. I mean, you can have the camera focus in on things that obviously are important and they want you to pay attention to, and the camera can blur out things, and that's a whole nother discussion really. But I don't think that was what was happening. I thought that, to me, it felt like I was just missing parts of the movie because it was just happening so fast and I couldn't even take it all in. Anyway, that was my opinion on the 3D technology and how it relates. So I don't think in the church tech world 3D is really going to be a thing. But when they're doing the opening credits, right, and you're getting a nice shot of like the New York skyline or something like that, and then you've got like directed by, you know, starring, and you know, all those little whatever they put in the opening credits. When it's just text on screen and it's not 3D, it's really easy to not pay attention to it. You know what I mean? And just focus on the visuals and not read the words. But here's why I think it's effective in 3D is because when you're doing an opening sequence like that and you're doing opening credits and you make the text slowly jump out at 3D, your eye has to be drawn to it, and it like almost forces you to read the text. It's kind of bizarre. Honestly, I wonder if there's some e-learning applications for 3D technology like that, where you could do like an e-learning module or e-learning course in 3D, and the words would kind of just bounce off. The words would become more 3D at certain points based on the speed that you would read, and it would force you to read things. So I don't know. I think, I'm not saying 3D technology is like the devil and we should get rid of it, but there's definitely good applications for it. What was the other good application that I think this was actually the opening sequence when they are painting over the buildings, and you see the 4 turtles climbing up the top of this building, and you're like zoomed way out, and then it's like a slow zoom in. I thought that was kind of cool. And obviously, like the hockey puck coming at you, Casey Jones's hockey puck, you know, the bullet coming at you, or not the bullet, the shell, or the what do you even call it, the round of ammunition. I don't know the proper name for the type of ammunition that tanks fire, but when Rocksteady popped up out of the river there in the tank, and they fired off that shot, and it came right out at you, you know. But it's kind of like the one-trick pony of 3D, though, right? So I don't know. Those are my thoughts on 3D. I'd like to know what you think about 3D. And did you go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Darkness? I mean, I was a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan when I was, you know, a little kid. Had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles underwear and Transformers and all that stuff. So I was like, I loved the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I was a kid. So I kind of just had to go see this one just because. But don't get to go to the movies all that much. It was like $16 for a ticket, and it's like, was a 3D digital RealD thing really worth it? I don't know. For me, it's pretty iffy, kind of on the no side. But the other thing about it was so late, and I'm an early person. I'm not so much a night owl anymore. I was hanging out with Chris and Joe, but those guys are night owls. And I'm not embarrassed to say I fell asleep during Teenage Mutant. I did. There's like one slow part, like where the turtles have to like sneak into the crime lab or whatever to recover the ooze. And I'm telling you, the movie slowed down for like a split second, and I was out. And I'm not embarrassed to say that I fell asleep, but I'm embarrassed that Chris and Joe were both like looking over at me, and they knew that they found out that I fell asleep. I'm like, crap. When I woke up, I'm like, I hope those guys didn't realize I fell asleep. And sure enough, they did realize that I fell asleep during the movie. So hey, that's what happens when you go to a late movie. But anyway, I'm at the church, and I'm gonna end this vlog video now. Thanks for watching. This one was just a little bit of a fun topic, just random. And I am about to go mix Josh and Kate and set up for Children's Sunday, which is going to be a complete curveball, and I will try to hit that curveball out of the park based on whatever these 5 to 10 classes throw at me in terms of presentations and theatrics and whatever. So anyway, the plan is 2 wireless microphones and a couple wired ones hanging off in the wings, and we'll see how it goes. And you'll see how it went in the media report, which I'll upload on Friday. So thank you again for watching and subscribing. See you in the next video.